Hello everyone, and today we have an update on the Ritualist guide. So I think everybody understands that it was a build concept and the physical bleed Ritualist just wasn't good enough. But I'm gonna include the mapping footage everybody asked for, and why I decided to switch is because Amazon just does the job better at bleeding. She has conversion, accuracy to physical damage. She can also utilize all the juicy crit nodes that are here on the tree, and she also can benefit from more accuracy to physical damage. And there are also a lot of accuracy related nodes here. Another big importance in Amazon is that she has exploit weakness, which during specific HP bar frames of an enemy just does more damage. And overall, this spear is not really good weapon for bleeding. So when they add new classes and new weapons, I think bleeding will be in much better state. Spear just lacks heavy single target damage or any like good clear damage. The ones that want to keep pushing for, they buffed Spear Field pretty nicely. I think like they add a multiplicative scaling to the damage itself, so it should help. But yeah, I'm gonna have a quick talk why I switched Lightning Spear and how I do it. So here's the tree, and here's my gear. And for those who are also interested to switch, I have good news for you. If you have good spear for bleeding, you can use that spear for Lightning Spear, and the simple explanation of that is, as you see, I have a lot of physical damage on my spear. It's not a good spear because I could get a better one, but currently I just haven't been able to craft one. And if you check on the Lightning Spear, it says physical damage converted to lightning. So we actually do not need lightning damage rolls here. We just need physical damage. It scales the best. I've tried out and experimented. If you put a Greater Storm Rune here, the damage will go down, so it's better just to stack physical damage. Also, because we're playing Ritualist, if you have Amulet with Spirit and you have this Ascendancy node, you'll just get even more Spirit, which allows us for utilize that Spirit and get like very expensive aura buffs like Trinity. And Trinity is really good and is kinda cheap to set it up. So what it does basically is, every time I do lightning damage, I get stacks of resonance, and for every 50 stacks of resonance I have, I do more elemental damage of a specific element. In our case, it's lightning. So it's basically 24% more lightning damage buff. And of course I have it on quality 20, and I just add these absolutely free support gems here. They just add +1 level, so our Trinity gets even more percentage. When you switch this build, you do not need to go Electrocution, because it will lower your attack speed. But later, it's a really good way to generate frenzy charges with Combat Frenzy. Also, I went for extra charm slot as further sentency. You could go for Ritual Sacrifice. A lot of people like it, and somebody in the comments also recommended about it, that they really love to play this. I personally don't choose this because if you consume a corpse while casting, like you cast Ritual Sacrifice, consume corpse, and while you're doing it, if you get stunned, you can end up in a situation where you don't get any buffs, but you lose the corpse. So this got like a bit annoying in one single map, where just 3 corpses in a row I wasn't able to Ritual Sacrifice because some off-screen mob just wanted to range attack me, and it was enough to stun. Also, like sometimes it is a bit scary node because if you get something like Shroudwalker, you will just automatically blink into packs of mobs. So if you really don't want to die on maps, there are better nodes. Well, Ritualist actually doesn't have much better nodes, but here I go for Chump Slot because I don't use Ingenuity yet. Ingenuity is a good belt because we have 3 rings. So for those who don't remember, it's the one that drops from Ritual Boss. And if you check the market, because the belt was nerfed, and it's pretty much only usable on Ritualist, the belt costs around 1 divine, maybe even less. Maybe even the price goes up. I'm actually gonna check the price right now for you. So yeah, as of now, you can find Ingenuity for 40 Exalts. That's a bit under divine. You're probably not gonna find it with extra Chump Slots, but decent rolls will cost you about divine. So definitely get that if your belt is bad. My belt is bad, but I need that lightning resistance a bit, like to keep my resistances capped. I don't have capped fire resistance. So yeah. Also, yeah, I have Warrior Invictus. I was able to snatch for this one for 1 divine, and then I hit the corruption for 5 sockets. It's my personal choice to use this armor because, as I told before, I would like to use armor and evasion. I think it works good enough for me right now. So why not? Also, one source to generate frenzy charges is to use a charm that gives you frenzy charges when you get lightning damage. And why it is good is because if you take this node for elemental attack damage with attacks, you can also see it says physical damage from hits taken as damage of random element. So if it procs and you take like any amounts of damage as lightning damage, that charm that generates frenzy charges will proc and you get a free frenzy charge. And our ascendancy gets frenzy charges like charm charges much faster. Also, a lot of people play with Dance with Death. It allows you to throw, like, to have multiplicative attack speeds if you don't have a shield in hand. I am using a shield in hand because for further DPS boost, you're gonna need a specific unique shield that gives plus to lightning damage, or like plus levels to lightning skills. And this is why basically I don't take this, I just try to find attack speed on the tree. So currently I still kept these nodes because it is close to lightning nodes we really need. And it increases your attack speed with one-handed weapons, also accuracy rating. Then I went for this attack speed because I use these nodes. Your tree may look like you just don't take this whole cluster, and if you don't take this full cluster, you can just go up here and take lightning even more lightning damage here. Also really recommended to take mana on kill, but I invested 1 divine to get a jewel that gives both life and mana on kill. So you can get this for 1 divine. The other jewel is just also for more charges and attack damage and damage with spears. That's pretty nice. The build itself is pretty simple. You just throw lightning spear. Also, this node, you can avoid taking these nodes unless you have electrocution, because electrocute is an ailment that will increase your damage. So if you don't have electrocution yet, you can skip that node and invest these 3 points into your liking. I really recommend to flex the tree according to your gear. Don't go 1-to-1, like absolutely don't go 1-to-1 with my tree, because there are like a lot of things that may differ. A lot of people probably are not using armor and evasion. And what allows me to use it more efficiently is the Warrior Invictus, even though it got nerfed. Global defenses just increases my armor and evasion from any gear I have. And yeah, let's get to the map showcase. Let's just get absolutely random map. Let's go like this. So for current, you see it has +1 to monster levels, also using level 14 Waystone. It has a 1 bite modifier, which breaks my armor. But I'm not gonna worry about it. So that was it for mapping. Let's now go over a skill gem and what our skills do. So I also have some experimental stuff, which I took from a content creator called Tolfheadna. I hope I pronounced that correctly. So they're using something interesting, like Primal Strikes, for a single target DPS for all bosses. So I'm just gonna explain how all it works. So Spear Throw, absolutely random stuff here. Barrage, support skills do more damage, cooldown recovery, and this new skill, Inhibitor. It works with Barrage, so it's a new gem. So I assume like it buffs, so it helps with the Barrage damage penalty. But basically you need Barrage just to proc even more Herald of Thunder with your Lightning Spears. Herald of Thunder has Magnified Effect and Innervate. I don't have a third gem here because I haven't been thinking on what I want to socket here, and every other build just uses things I use in my Lightning Spear. Combat Frenzy, of course, chance to get an additional charge. Trinity, just +1 all gems so we can scale the percentage. You don't get the percentage with every 1 level. I think it's every 2 levels. Yeah, so I can just show you it as well. So if I take out 2 spot gems, it's 11%. I put 1 in, still 11. I put another in, 12. Thunder Sleep, just pretty okay for movements. Momentum, so it does more landing damage. It can do pretty decent damage. Concentrated Ground is so when you stand on it, you regen life and get reduced effect of curses. You can use it for life regen in some situations, maybe on bosses. I just use it for movement, and there's not better stuff to socket there. Lightning Spear, more weapon elemental damage. Lightning Infusion. Vault. Vault is a also interesting skill gem. So if you move, you get stacks, and then you just do a stronger attack. A lot of people I've seen do this to get Vault faster, then just like throw some spears, then they jump away. Oh, okay, so yeah, sometimes I don't know if it's for me or not, but sometimes when you use the Thunder Sleep, the game basically your character freezes and it just teleports, like the animation doesn't render. I don't know what's the issue. I've like changed the renderer, but it still happens. Yeah, and the last is Martial Temple. We use Martial Temple only because we are not using the passive node that gives us more skill speed. And yeah, just because I want to combine it with the shield, I use Martial Temple here. Then Stormlands, it's you don't need to have this gem. Orbs of Storms, it's for the Primal Strike setup, so you make it to have a longer duration, you make it to give you mana regen, you make it to have to give you a rage regen, and then you have Primal Strikes. So how it works is you shock an enemy, then you hit it with Primal Strikes. It will consume the shock with the third hit and just do a big amount of damage, so that's why we have more damage. Amount of focus and Pursuit, because Pursuit is, we use Lightning Spear to shock, then we use Primal Strikes to deal big damage. It's not as noticeable in rare enemies as it is noticeable in bosses. It also consumes less mana, because on bosses you can run out of mana. So even though I have pretty decent mana regen, it's 40 per second, if I keep spamming spears, you see it depletes quite fast. But at the same time, if I use this, it's more mana efficient. Also, if I have like this orb down, it basically pays off the costs. But yeah, that's how it works. So thank you everybody for big support, big views, comments. I was kind of not checking my YouTube channel because I like recently started uploading, so I'm sorry if I replied a bit late and this video is a bit late. But yeah, once again, the good news from developers is you're gonna be able to respec your ascendancy. If you dislike Ritualist, don't give up yet. If you can still run some maps, just run, get some more gear. Maybe you get like a good spear, then you can respec into Amazon and use that spear. And also talking about the ascendancies, I got my first ascendancy in Trial of Sekhmet. I was doing it in a party. My party member was doing quite a good damage, but you can also do it solo. My party member actually made it harder because they're using ballista build, which makes everything on the screen basically cluttered with different shit, so I can't even see the attacks or AoEs that I need to dodge. So it was harder in party actually, but yeah, we still managed to do it. And yeah. Also, few side notes to the gear. Just get your rings, what you need to have on your rings. If you get flat damage on rings, it's very good. But yeah, once again, thanks for watching. Leave your thoughts down in the comments. I'll read them faster this time, and see you.